Chiefs Kingdom, brace yourselves. The Kansas City Chiefs just lit a fuse in the 2025 NFL Draft that's about to detonate across the league. With 7 new weapons, including a game-breaking wide receiver and trench warriors, Brett Veach and Andy Reid have reloaded a roster already dripping with talent. But there's a massive question looming. Why didn't they draft a tight end to succeed Travis Kelce? Is this the blueprint for the next dynasty, or a gamble that could leave them scrambling? Let's unpack the brilliance, the risks, and the electrifying addition of Jalen Royals that's got Mahomes grinning ear to ear. Stay locked in, this is a game-changer. The Chiefs didn't just participate in the 2025 draft, they owned it, snagging 7 players to fortify both sides of the ball. This wasn't a scattershot approach, it was a calculated plan to build a juggernaut. They strengthened the offensive and defensive lines, bolstered the secondary, added a dynamic wide receiver, and grabbed a versatile running back. Here's the haul. Josh Simmons, OT, round 1 a pass protection maestro. Simmons is the future at left tackle, ensuring Mahomes stays upright for years. Omar Norman-Lott, DT, round 2 a disruptive interior rusher. Norman-Lott pairs with Chris Jones to wreak havoc. Noel Williams, CB, round 3 a ball hawk corner. Williams adds depth to a secondary hit by injuries and L'Jarius Sneed's exit. Jalen Royals, WR, round 5 a Rashee Rice clone with explosive speed. Royals is a yards after-catch machine ready to ignite. Jaden Bosa, LB, round 5 a high IQ linebacker with coverage skills. Bosa was a steal for Steve Spagnuolo's defense. Ashton Gil-Latte, Edge, round 6 a relentless pass rusher. Gil-Latte brings depth behind George Karlaftis. Brashard Smith, RB, round 7 a 4.39 speed back with receiver roots. Smith is a special team spark and offensive wildcard. This class screams discipline, addressing urgent needs while finding late-round gems. But the biggest shock? Not drafting a single tight end, despite Travis Kelce's looming contract expiration. Travis Kelce, 35, is the heartbeat of KC's offense, but his contract ends after 2025, and subtle signs of decline are showing. Experts predicted the Chiefs would draft his heir, yet Veach and Reid passed on every tight end. Instead, they signed undrafted free agent Jake Bruningstool from Clemson, a projected 5th-rounder. This wasn't an oversight, it was a bold wager on their current roster and long-term vision. Noah Gray's ascent. Gray isn't just a backup, he's a star in waiting. In 2024, he posted 40 catches, 437 yards, and 5 touchdowns, outscoring Kelce, with an 81% catch rate. His clutch grabs and crisp routes earned a recent extension, signaling KC's belief he's TE1 material post-Kelce. Jared Wiley's potential. Drafted in 2024, Wiley is back from injury and reportedly thriving. Coaches are high on his size, speed, and dual-threat ability. A breakout 2025 could make him a key piece. Jake Bruningstool's upside. Bruningstool's slippery routes and grit make him a steal. He's raw but moldable, a depth piece with long-term potential in Reid's system. The Chiefs scanned the draft and saw no tight end worth the cost. Instead of reaching, they prioritized trenches and playmakers, betting Gray and Wiley can bridge the gap until 2026. Bruningstool adds insurance, but he's no Kelce clone, yet. KC isn't trying to replace Kelce's magic, they're building a versatile offense that's harder to defend. Gray's reliability, Wiley's athleticism, and Bruningstool's raw talent create a multi-dimensional tight end group. Defenses can't key on one player anymore, they'll face varied threats weekly. This evolution ensures the offense thrives post-Kelce, with Mahomes pulling the strings. The draft's crown jewel is Jalen Royals, a 5th-round wide receiver who's pure dynamite. His college stats, 126 catches, 1,914 yards, scream playmaker. With a blazing 10-yard split and electric yards after-catch ability, Royals is a Rashee Rice clone tailor-made for Reid's scheme. In KC's offense, he's a cheat code, turning short passes into game-breaking gains. But Royals isn't alone. The Chiefs' receiver room is a nightmare for defenses. Rashee Rice, back from a 2024 injury, Rice's rookie year, 79 catches, 938 yards, 7 TDs, hints at Pro Bowl potential, assuming he avoids off-field issues. Xavier Worthy, after a strong 2024 rookie season, Worthy's speed stretches defenses thin. Marquise Hollywood Brown, a veteran deep threat chasing a ring. JuJu Smith-Schuster, locked in for big plays. Smith-Schuster's leadership Mahomes is hyping the chemistry brewing with Royals, Rice, and Worthy. Add Brown and Smith-Schuster's experience, and this unit could be the NFL's most dangerous. Defenses are already sweating. Mahomes with this arsenal is unfair. For all its brilliance, the 2025 draft leaves questions. Tight end uncertainty. If Gray doesn't ascend or Wiley and Brunningstool stall, KC could face a void post-Kelsey. This bet hinges on unproven talent. Right tackle liability. Jawan Taylor's shaky pass protection and expiring contract, March 2026, loom large. Backups Wanya Morris and Chukwuebuka Godric aren't ready. Safety depth. Jaden Hicks has upside, but Brian Cook's contract year and Mike Edwards' Jure PTO status make the secondary fragile. Run defense. Omar Normanlott excels as a pass rusher, but Mike Pennell, 33, is the only true nose tackle, a risk against run-heavy teams. These gaps could hurt in January, but Veach's history suggests he'll address them via trades or free agency. The Chiefs aren't just building for 2025, they're crafting a dynasty for 2030. Simmons protects Mahomes, Normanlott and Williams fortify the defense, and Royals and Smith add offensive juice. Fifth-year options for Trent McDuffie and George Karlaftis lock in a defensive core. The tight end gamble shows confidence in Gray, Wiley, and Brunningstool, with Reed's coaching to polish them. Kelsey's potential final season adds urgency. Mahomes and crew are on a mission to send him out with another ring. This roster isn't about individual stars, it's a complete unit. Mahomes' genius, Reed's schemes, and Veach's vision create a machine built for sustained dominance. The receiver room's depth, paired with a versatile tight end group, makes this offense a potential all-time great if health holds. The 2025 draft is a masterclass in balancing now and later. Royals' explosiveness, Simmons' protection, and Normanlott's disruption elevate an already elite roster. The tight end risk is bold but calculated. Gray's ready, Wiley's rising, and Brunningstool's a steal. With Mahomes leading the charge, this team isn't just chasing a three-peat, they're aiming for historic greatness. The NFL's shaking, and Chiefs Kingdom is the epicenter. Is Royals the missing piece? Can Gray carry the tight end torch? Drop a W in the comments if you're all in on this dynasty, or an L if the tight end gamble worries you. Smash that like button and subscribe. 2025 is about to be a wild ride, and you don't want to miss a second. Let's go, Chiefs! Chiefs Kingdom, get ready. A tidal wave of excitement is crashing through Kansas City. The Chiefs are gearing up for the 2025 season with a roster poised for greatness, a draft strategy that's pure Brett Veach sorcery, and a young star in Xavier Worthy who's got the NFL on notice. From JuJu Smith-Schuster's bold prophecy about Worthy's breakout to Veach's draft day chess moves and looming contract decisions for Trent McDuffie and George Karlaftis, the Chiefs are at a pivotal crossroads. But questions linger. Can they shore up left guard? Will they lock in their defensive core? Let's dive into the fireworks, the stakes, and why Kansas City's 2025 offseason is setting the stage for another Lombardi run. Picture Arrowhead Stadium, lights blazing, crowd roaring, and Xavier Worthy blazing past defenders for a 40-yard touchdown. The rookie's 2024 campaign was a revelation. 101 touches, 1,137 yards from scrimmage, 12 touchdowns, and 0 missed games. When injuries sidelined Rashee Rice and Marquise Hollywood Brown in Week 4, Worthy didn't just step up, he became a pillar in Patrick Mahomes' offense. His speed, 4.21 40-yard dash, made him a deep threat nightmare, but he's evolving into a complete receiver. JuJu Smith-Schuster, a veteran who thrives in big moments, is sounding the alarm. 2024 was just the preview. He hasn't even scratched the surface, JuJu said, hyping Worthy's off-season work in Texas alongside Mahomes. Worthy's sharpening his intermediate routes, expanding his game to torment secondaries at every level. With Rice returning, Brown re-signed, and complementary pieces like Sky Moore, Nico Remigio, and JuJu himself, this could be Mahomes' most versatile receiver room since his 2018 MVP season. Defensive coordinators are already losing sleep. Brett Veach doesn't play it safe on draft night, he strikes. Since becoming GM, he's never traded down, and 2025 could see another bold move. With 8 picks, including 4 in the top 100, the Chiefs hold serious capital in a draft. Rumors suggest a late first-round run on offensive tackles and defensive linemen, positions KC covets. One name stands out: Josh Simmons, OT, Ohio State. Simmons aced medical evaluations post-knee injury and impressed during a top 30 visit with the Chiefs. Mock drafts vary, with some projecting him as high as number 13 to Miami, but if he slips past number 20, Veach could leap. Simmons' pass protection skills are tailor-made for protecting Mahomes. If Simmons is gone, defense is in play. The Athletic's Nate Taylor projects KC trading up to number 24 for Michael Williams, edge, Georgia. At 6 feet 5 inches, 267 pounds, Williams' length and relentless motor fit Steve Spagnuolo's mold. With Mike Dana's contract having an out after 2025 and Charles Omenihu recovering from injury, Williams could rotate early and become a centerpiece. The Minnesota Vikings, with just 4 picks, next after number 24 is number 97, are a prime trade partner. Kansas City, sitting at number 31, could leapfrog AFC rivals like Houston, Baltimore, and Buffalo, who eye similar talent. Trading with Minnesota for more draft capital lets Veach snag a difference-maker while blocking competitors, a tactic he used to outmaneuver Buffalo for McDuffie in 2022. This isn't just savvy, it's draft day warfare. The Chiefs' 2022 draft class, McDuffie, Karlaftis, and Trey Smith, fueled 3 straight Super Bowl runs. Now, their contract windows are closing, and decisions loom. Trent McDuffie, CB, an all-pro cornerstone, McDuffie's 5th-year option, $13.6 million for 2026, is a no-brainer. His versatility, slot and outside, and leadership make him indispensable. McDuffie wants to stay, saying, "If they want to sign me, I'd love that. If not, it's still all love for Kansas City." Veach confirmed that once Smith's deal is done, McDuffie's extension is next. Fun fact, KC hasn't re-signed a homegrown DB since Eric Berry, but McDuffie's elite play breaks that streak. George Karlaftis, edge. Karlaftis' 76 pressures and 8 postseason sacks by 2024 show his growth. His 5th-year option, $15.1 million, locks him through 2026, but a long-term deal looms. With Mike Dana on a prove-it deal, Karlaftis is the pass rush future. Veach's priority is clear: keep the defensive core intact. With Christian Fulton joining the secondary, McDuffie could see more blitzes from the slot, unlocking new wrinkles in Spagnuolo's scheme. Extending both McDuffie and Karlaftis ensures Kansas City's defense remains elite. The offensive line faces a glaring hole at left guard after losing Joe Thuney's consistency. Andy Reid floated Kingsley Suamataia and Mike Nyong as options, but neither inspires confidence. Suamataia, a 2024 second-rounder, is raw, while Nyong's inconsistency raises red flags. Protecting Mahomes, a $500 million asset, demands better. Cheaper isn't smarter here. Veach may need to pursue a veteran free agent or draft a plug-and-play lineman to avoid disaster. While Kansas City debates contracts and draft picks, Mahomes is already grinding in Texas. For the 3rd straight off-season, he's hosting voluntary sessions with receivers, overseen by performance coach Bobby Stroop. No coaches, no playbooks, just Mahomes, Worthy, Rice, Brown, JuJu, and others building unshakable chemistry. These reps teach receivers how Mahomes thinks, anticipates, and visualizes the field. This is the X factor behind KC's playoff dominance, forged in silence away from Arrowhead. Rashee Rice, WR recovering from LCL surgery. Rice is progressing well. A clean return without suspension would restore a Pro Bowl caliber threat, 79 catches, 938 yards, 7 TDs as a rookie. Jared Wiley, TE rehabbing a November 2024 ACL tear. Wiley's Week 1 status is uncertain. With Travis Kelce's contract expiring and Noah Gray stepping up, Wiley's health is critical for tight end depth. Last year's draft, Worthy, Suamataia, Jaden Hicks, set the tone. Hicks shows promise at safety, but depth remains thin with Brian Cook in a contract year. The 2025 class must address left guard, safety, and potentially tight end if Wiley lags or Gray falters. Veach's knack for finding round 2 to 4 value, e.g., Nick Bolton, Creed Humphrey, makes KC's 4 top 100 picks a goldmine. Visualize 2025, Worthy in his sophomore breakout, Rice healthy, Brown and JuJu delivering, and a potential first-round phenom like Simmons or Williams. Defensively, Chris Jones, Karlaftis, and McDuffie, if extended, anchor a unit that gives Mahomes breathing room. Reid's schemes and Mahomes' magic make this offense a potential all-time great, rivaling the 2018 MVP. Veach's draft strategy isn't about safe picks, it's about rewriting trends. Trading up to leap rivals, as he did for McDuffie, shows his ruthlessness. Keeping the championship window open requires bold moves, and Kansas City's front office is all in. Worthy's rise, fueled by JuJu's prophecy and Mahomes' mentorship, signals a receiver room ready to explode. Veach's draft ambitions, potentially targeting Simmons or Williams, promise elite talent. McDuffie and Karlaftis are the defensive future, but the left guard hole and tight end depth need attention. Mahomes' Texas grind sets the tone, and Rice's return could be a game-changer. This isn't a team resting on back-to-back titles, it's a machine chasing history. Should Veach trade up? Is Worthy the next superstar? Does McDuffie deserve a blank check? Drop a Go Chiefs and your takes in the comments. Smash that like button if you're fired up, and subscribe for every twist in this dynasty's journey. The road to another Lombardi starts now. Let's roll, Chiefs Kingdom. Chiefs Kingdom, the 2025 offseason is heating up, and Kansas City is poised to keep their dynasty rolling. After a 15-2 season and a Super Bowl 59 loss to the Eagles, GM Brett Veach is back at the drawing board, ready to reload a roster headlined by Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and a ferocious defense. With 8 draft picks already in the books and key re-signings like Nick Bolton and JuJu Smith-Schuster secured, the Chiefs are now eyeing free agency to address critical gaps. The question on everyone's mind: who's the next big free agent target to elevate this squad? From stabilizing the offensive line to adding defensive depth, let's dive into Kansas City's free agency strategy, spotlight a prime target, and unpack why this move could cement their path to another Lombardi trophy. Drop a Go Chiefs in the comments and smash that like button. Let's get into it. Kansas City's 2024 campaign was a masterclass in resilience. Despite offensive line struggles and injuries to Rashee Rice and Marquise Hollywood Brown, the Chiefs went 15-2, powered by Mahomes' brilliance, a revitalized receiver room led by Xavier Worthy, and a Steve Spagnuolo defense that ranked among the NFL's best. Super Bowl 59 exposed weaknesses, though. Mahomes was sacked 6 times, and the offensive line's inconsistency was glaring. With $13.6 million in cap space and a projected 2025 salary cap of $279.2 million, Veach has room to maneuver but must prioritize wisely. Veach has already locked in core players. Nick Bolton, LB 3-year, $45 million deal, $30 million guaranteed. A tackling machine, Bolton anchors the defense. JuJu Smith-Schuster, WR 1-year deal to maintain receiver depth. Kareem Hunt, RB 1-year, $2.5 million deal for backfield stability. Mike Pennell, DT 1-year veteran minimum to bolster run defense. Charles Omenihu, DE 1-year, up to $7 million to keep pass rush depth. Jalen Moore, OT 2-year, $30 million deal to compete at left tackle. Christian Fulton, CB 2-year, $20 million deal to pair with Trent McDuffie. Notable departures include safety Justin Reid, who signed with his home state Saints, and defensive tackle Tershawn Wharton, who inked a 3-year, $45 million deal with Carolina after an 8.5 sack season. These losses sting, but Veach's history of cycling through defensive backs and finding value suggests he's got a plan. Roster needs. The Chiefs' priorities for 2025 free agency are clear. Offensive line, left guard/right tackle Joe Thuney's departure left a void at left guard, and Jawan Taylor's shaky pass protection at right tackle, 12 penalties in 2024, is a liability. Jalen Moore and Josh Simmons address left tackle, but guard and right tackle need attention. Defensive tackle, with Wharton gone and Pennell at 33, depth alongside Chris Jones is thin. A versatile run stopper or pass rusher is crucial. Safety, Reid's exit leaves Brian Cook, Jaden Hicks, and Shamari Connor as starters, with Mike Edwards on a 1-year deal. A veteran presence could stabilize the back end. Wide receiver depth, Worthy, Rice, Brown, and Smith-Schuster form an ascendant core, but depth players like Sky Moore or Nico Remigio need seasoning. Among the free agents available, one name stands out as Kansas City's next big target: Alaric Jackson, offensive tackle from the Los Angeles Rams. At 26, Jackson is a rising star who's shown he can anchor an offensive line. Here's why he's the perfect fit for the Chiefs. Background: undrafted out of Iowa in 2021, Jackson earned a starting role with the Rams, playing left tackle in 2024. 2024 performance: started 15 games, allowing just 4 sacks and 24 pressures on 612 pass-blocking snaps, per Pro Football Focus, PFF. His 73.2 PFF pass-blocking grade ranks above average, and he's disciplined, with only 5 penalties. Fit in KC, Jackson's size and pass protection skills make him an ideal right tackle to replace or compete with Jawan Taylor. His experience in Sean McVay's outside zone scheme aligns with Andy Reid's offense, which emphasizes quick passes and fixing the line. Super Bowl 59 highlighted KC's line woes. Mahomes faced 6 sacks and constant pressure. Jackson's proven ability to protect Matthew Stafford, Rams allowed the 8th fewest sacks in 2024, translates to keeping Mahomes clean. Cost-effective, Jackson's projected contract is around 3 years, $36 million, $20 million guaranteed, per PFF, affordable for KC's $13.6 million cap space, especially with Trey Smith's franchise tag looming. Youth and upside, at 26, Jackson is entering his prime, offering a long-term solution compared to aging tackles like Ronnie Stanley, 30, or Tyron Smith, 33. His 2024 season shows he's ready for a bigger role. Veach's strategy. Veach prioritizes protecting Mahomes, as seen with the Josh Simmons draft pick and Jalen Moore signing. Jackson fits his mold of high upside, under-the-radar linemen, e.g., Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith. Other tackles like Stanley or DJ Humphries are older and pricier, with injury concerns. Humphries, a Chiefs mid-season addition in 2024, is 30 and coming off a torn ACL, making him a riskier bet. Guard options like James Daniels or Dalton Risner are solid but address only one position, whereas Jackson's tackle/guard flexibility maximizes value. If Jackson signs elsewhere, Veach has options. Chase Young, DE, a former number 2 overall pick, Young's 7.5 sacks in 2024 show his potential. At $8 to $10 million APY, he'd pair with George Karlaftis to replace Omenihu's production. Mike Hilton, CB, a slot corner with a 70.0 plus PFF coverage grade in 6 of the last 8 seasons, Hilton could mentor younger DBs like Jaden Hicks. Estimated at $5 to $7 million per year. Levi Onwuzurike, DT, a cost-effective depth piece for the defensive line, Onwuzurike offers run-stopping and pass-rush ability at $3 to $5 million annually. Signing Alaric Jackson would send a clear message. Kansas City is all in on protecting Mahomes and sustaining their championship window. Pairing Jackson with Simmons and Moore creates a young, robust offensive line to support an explosive offense featuring Worthy, Rice, Brown, and Travis Kelce, if he returns. Defensively, retaining Bolton, McDuffie, and Karlaftis while adding depth ensures Spagnuolo's unit remains elite. Veach's track record, nailing picks like McDuffie and Worthy, signing undervalued free agents like Drew Tranquill, suggests he'll land a gem like Jackson. The Chiefs aren't rebuilding, they're reloading. With Mahomes hosting off-season throwing sessions in Texas and Reid scheming new wrinkles, 2025 could see Kansas City's offense rival its 2018 MVP-level firepower. Cap constraints. Committing to Jackson could limit funds for extending McDuffie or Karlaftis, both eligible for fifth-year options, $13.6 million and $15.1 million, respectively. Veach may need to restructure contracts like Chris Jones to free up space. Competition. Teams like the Bengals, Jets, and Patriots, with more cap space, could outbid KC for Jackson. Veach's pitch, ring-chasing with Mahomes, must outweigh bigger offers. Right tackle battle. If Jackson struggles or Taylor improves, KC risks a roster logjam. However, Jackson's guard versatility mitigates this risk. Alaric Jackson isn't a household name, yet. But in Veach's hands, he could be the next Trey Smith or Creed Humphrey, a foundational piece for years. Protecting Mahomes unlocks Worthy's deep speed, Rice's physicality, and Kelce's, or Noah Gray's, reliability. Add draft picks like Simmons and Michael Williams, and this roster is a nightmare for opponents. The Chiefs' 15-2 season proved their floor is sky-high. Jackson could raise their ceiling to historic levels. Is Jackson the key to another Super Bowl? Should Veach chase a defensive star like Young instead? Drop your takes and a "Go Chiefs" in the comments. Smash that like button if you're ready for 2025 dominance, and subscribe for every off-season update. The dynasty isn't slowing down. Let's roll, Chiefs Kingdom.